Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. What a difference a day makes. You know, I was out here yesterday and it was 67 degrees. Right now, it is 23 degrees out here. Yeah, it's cold. The fish who were swimming at the top looking for food, they've gone back down to the bottom because they said it's cold as fart out here. And that's how fast things can change in life. Wow. 3 years ago, the Dallas Cowboys traded a #1 pick for Amari Cooper. During that time, they got 3,000 plus yards, 21 touchdowns, and did a little bit of damage. Didn't win a Super Bowl or anything like that, but he at least did some things. They trade him to the Browns. Of all places to trade somebody to the Browns, not that I'm trying to knock the Browns, but, you know, it's cold. It's cold in Cleveland. In fact, it's cold here. Shit. It's cold in Cleveland. And you got Baker Mayfield. And the fact that you only swapped 6-round picks in a 5th, that felt more like we're going to screw you over more than anything else. Allegedly, there were 4 teams that were interested in him. I don't know if that was the best deal. We'll never know. But for everybody who's saying that we got hosed, we got screwed, let me remind you, when DeMarcus Ware was going to be a $16 million cap hit, they released him, took about a $10 million dead hit, and got nothing in return. When the Cowboys decided to part ways with Dez Bryant, they ended up having about an $8 million cap hit and got nothing in compensation. When the Dallas Cowboys let go of Jalen Smith last year during the season, we got nothing in return and still paid his full salary of $9 million. When we signed Gerald McCoy and brought him in training camp, and he ended up busting his leg and not being able to play, we still paid $3 million and got nothing for him. Guys, we never get anything for anybody. So the reality of at least getting the cap relief on a guy who would have been cut had we not found a trade partner, at least we got the cap relief and a 5th-round pick. Just saying. And not all picks, first-round picks, are the Hall of Famers. You got great guys like Tom Brady, who was picked in the 6th round, and even undrafted guys like Tony Romo. So I'm going to give the Cowboys benefit of the doubt. I don't think the Cowboys are done yet this weekend. Maybe we hear something about Lyle Collins being traded. I think the Dallas Cowboys are looking at it from the standpoint of, we did a lot of things of building the team over the last 2 years through the draft. Let's get as many draft picks as we can and try to deal with that. Now, I'm not going to say that the Cowboys are a better team without Amari Cooper. I'm not. But I've tried to point out, if you look at us from the situation where we were when we let go of Dez Bryant, there was no plan B. We went out and we got Allen Hurns. We had Cole Beasley here. We had Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin, who were young players that really didn't play much. Golf Schwam was our starting tight end. You drafted Michael Gallup, who was a rookie. So to say that the Cowboys, that Dak Prescott just was failing because he had great receivers for Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper solely made Dak Prescott, is a misnomer. He had a whole bunch of young guys with no experience other than Cole Beasley. Amari Cooper was a veteran, but make no mistake about it, Amari Cooper wasn't doing shit with the Raiders, and if it was only about the receiver, then how come he wasn't doing great things before he got traded with Derek Carr? I pointed out during my live stream, if you take a look at, say, Randall Cobb, whose numbers were terrible the last 4 years before he got together with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys offense, he doubled what he did the next year with Deshaun Watson, a guy who everybody's ready to trade the farm for. And when he went back with Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, which had a loaded wide receiver and offensive game plan, he still only had 375 yards. So was it about Randall Cobb or being with Dak Prescott? And I dare say that we have more talent now with CeeDee Lamb, and if we do get Michael Gallup back healthy, than we had when we got rid of Des Bryant. If the Dallas Cowboys take the money and they do some other things besides just re-signing their own players to improve the roster, then I'm okay. If they go through and they restructure DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm sorry, my brain is freezing out here because the wind is pushing and it's cold as shit. But we do this because we want to show you what difference a day makes and how us Dallas Cowboy fans feel about sitting out in the damn cold, because that's how you feel when you let go of a great player. But if the Cowboys restructure D-Law and keep him there and decide to make a move to try and get Bobby Wagner, and they end up increasing more picks by getting rid of La'el Collins, who I don't believe is really the starter that you want at right tackle, and we go into the draft and say we're going to take the best player available because we've now gotten both of our defensive ends back in D-Law and Randy Gregory. We have our X-Men in Micah Parsons. And we've got Bobby Wagner, who's a lights-out linebacker who stays healthy. And we go into the draft and saying, is the best player available an offensive lineman? Is the best player available a defensive lineman? And we pick up a wide receiver in the second or third round because it's a deep wide receiver draft, and we save some money and we improve the team. By all means, then that's great. I will give them the opportunity to try and do something like that to try to improve the team. I will sit here and wait because, quite frankly, that's all I can do other than freeze my ass off out here in the cold as a Dallas Cowboy fan. And it is cold. I should have got my winter coat instead of just a sweat jacket that Miss Jackie gave to me. Shout out to you, Miss Jackie. This thing is good. It's just not good in 22-degree weather with 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But I will say this, part of the reason why Amari Cooper is no longer a Dallas Cowboy is because I don't think he has the sizzle that the Dallas Cowboys want. You have to understand, everything is bigger in Dallas. Just like the Lakers were Showtime, the Dallas Cowboys, you got to get the CeeDee Lamb with the, or the Des Bryant, first down. What do you get with Amari Cooper? Amari Cooper is so low-key that it's not the Showtime. It's not selling the jerseys like Amari Cooper. like CeeDee Lamb. Sorry, my brain is frozen. And see, that's what the Cowboys want, which is why I think you're going to see Juju with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you, I will be more surprised if Juju is not a Dallas Cowboy. I would be more surprised if he is not a Dallas Cowboy than if he is a Dallas Cowboy. Because he is about the show. And football and the Dallas Cowboys are about the show more than anything else. We are Barnum and Bailey Circus. That's right. And Jerry Jones knows there's a sucker born every minute. And we're those suckers. So watch. We go out, we get Juju, we end up getting Bobby Wagner, and then we draft the best player available. And if the Cowboys ended up doing that, would you still be mad? I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm cold as can be. Amari Cooper, I wish you the best of luck in whatever you do, as long as you're not playing the Dallas Cowboys. I hope that this ends up being more of like when we got rid of DeMarcus Ware, that the defense went from 32nd to 19, that somehow the offense gets better. Good news is, it's cold as a witch's boo. Trying to be better with my language, Dad. But it's supposed to be back in the 60s by Monday. Because you know what? Bad weather doesn't last. Bad weather doesn't last. And it can change real quick. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'm a popsicle out here, like the rest of you Dallas Cowboy fans, out in the cold. I'll see you. Now, let's just hope I don't fall and bust my ass out here in the cold.